I mean, I guess this is not really breaking news, but I didn't know about this. Right? Quanta is dead, as some people are saying. But let's see what let's hear the word from the actual person's mouth instead of what people are saying in chat, because you guys can't be trusted. Wait. Okay, so let's scroll down. I lost it basically when I scrolled out. So instead, I'm just going to refresh. And it should go right to it. Okay. Yeah, that was it. Here's a quick summary. Here's a quick summary of my answer on that stream for you all. The Quanta simulation is in a good place at the moment, but lives in a closed system. Now, you got to remember who's saying this. Okay? Now, I know he's now CTO and maybe he needs to watch his mouth a little bit more than he ever did, but this is Benoit. And Benoit has been known to just be honest. Okay? And kind of tell it like it is a little bit more than the other people. He was the one yelling, this is what it takes to make the game, blah, blah, blah. He appears to be a good dude, but now he's a CTO, so you don't know. Maybe he's got to have this authored a little bit. We'll see. But him saying it's in a good place doesn't mean it's dead. So calm down, chat. Right? We want the sim to make a difference to your play experience, and so for the moment have paused its development in favor for developing the gameplay systems the game needs for the sim to hook on, economy and otherwise, which makes a lot of sense. The server meshing work also has very large impact on how the sim communicates with the game state, and so have thus prioritized other work in the short term until we can come around and make the simulation affect live gameplay and make a difference like we intended since the beginning. Now, that's not entirely fair. And now I can kind of understand why some people are maybe thinking that this is pretty doomy, because honestly, it feels a little doomy to me when there are systems that this could affect and they don't do it. Repair, refuel, right? Like they said they would. And so that's one thing that I have to say. But then outside of that, his explanation seems fine. Yeah, just straight up trading too. You can literally, test the system on a smaller scale or whatever. But if you've ever heard my arguments around them not doing the mining ship, the new one, I feel the same way about this. The UIs, the everything around the Quanta system. Well, I guess there's no UI really, but everything around the economic system in the game needs to be informed by what? How good a piece of armor is, how strong a ship weapon is, how fast a quantum drive is, what materials they're made out of, what crafting costs they have. So let me tell you something. As somebody who wants this blueprint system ASAP, it sounds like the focus is the gameplay systems the game needs the sim to hook on, right? Is that, right? How do we know Tony Z still works at CIG? I mean, all things point right now to the fact that he doesn't, because what else was this fucking guy doing, right? He was the Quanta guy. That's all he was doing. He does. It's 100% confirmed. Okay. Yeah, LinkedIn. I don't know. Who knows? But in the end, it's just like the computer. If he's not, it's just like things being on your client. If he's not in front of you, it doesn't matter, right? Isn't he running the Austin studio? He's never run the Austin studio. John Erskine has always run the Austin studio, as far as I'm aware. Those are just people's names that you would never hear because they're behind the scenes people. I've been to the Austin studio a few times, and I got to interview John one time, and yeah, he's a good guy. So it doesn't matter, right? As much if Tony's there or not. I think the idea of the sim was laid out before he ever existed at the company. And it's just a matter of somebody delivering it, right? They had a team that was working on that. Is Game Horizon still working on it? We don't know are they still working at the company? What are they doing? All that stuff. Oh yeah, Phil's correcting us on the words like Space Tomato does. I know Benoit said Quanta, but the sim is called Quantum. Quanta are the individual lightweight NPCs used in the simulation. Yes. Yeah, quantum. We just throw the words around because quantum is how we travel, and we don't want it to be confusing, so we use quanta a lot. I think to not confuse people as well. I don't know why Benoit said it, but I think I end up saying quanta to just have a difference. But the I don't know. That's where I'm at with things, and it is what it is. But as long my take here is that it's still the intention, right? It's still the intention to deliver something with a bit of dynamism, I guess is the word. But the other thing that we can add on to this, and I don't know if anybody has still has if Luminaire's here, because he was taking notes like crazy during the CitizenCon live streams in my chat. But Richard Tyrer said, and he's a big time guy that's going to be dealing with the PU for the remainder of time, as far as we know, is, well, he said, I don't, like, for me, the MMO is lots of players, gameplay, and the quantum economy is a bonus. So that was the first red flag. This is this is like a black flag, right? Saying that it's paused. And we'll have to see. So we don't need a dynamic economy. Oh my God, there's a I held the line emote. We don't need a quantum, like the quantum economy the way it was described. We just need an economy. So that we know there's an economy team. And again, this sentence is the key here. For the moment, we've paused this development in favor of developing the gameplay systems the game needs for the sim to hook on, economy and otherwise. So that does not mean that we will not see economy improvements to the game throughout the game's development. Right? We will, like, from now on, we will likely still see smaller but impactful economic improvements to the game. They just won't be happening with little dots behind the scenes in a simulation, right? They may not be as detailed as maybe some of us would have hoped for. But I think everybody knows that player-run economies, like Bob is saying in chat, everybody knows player-run economies just make good MMOs, right? Like, I'd rather it be that personally. So, yeah. Just copy paste Eve Online, move on. It's a start. I mean, they're showing that they want to add more Eve stuff. So, yeah, I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay. So they need better trading systems. They need better, like, just an economy that even makes sense from the beginning. We didn't even have that, right? So exactly. There's no point in working on it without just something making sense, right? It is completely nonsensical. So they're saying gameplay first, simple first, and they can maybe make it complicated later. And that's how I feel about it. But Kind Minky, thank you for that email, dude. That's so funny. So I don't know what you guys think, but this is a big one for me. This is the most important thing for me. is the economy, whether it's dynamic, whether it's not, whether it's player run. I just want one to exist and want to know how to interact with it. And I am definitely in favor of putting the game systems in first and making it make sense and then simulating it. We don't need to simulate nothing. It doesn't make any sense. So that's where I'm at with that. I hope you guys feel the same and maybe are a little bit less doom and gloom, because everybody was dooming that I saw mentioning this in my chat this morning. Chill out. As far as I know, we're still in pretty good hands. If Tony Z is gone, which everybody is also saying is not the case, we're still in good hands with Benoit and others, right? And many other people there. One person does not make... There's only one person that makes this company, and it's Chris. And as long as Chris is there, and there's good people under him, which you saw at CitizenCon the entire time, you're saying there's a chance, basically. There's still a chance this game's going to be fine. In my experience, I'm not sure what Tony's really delivered outside of the system that Elliot used on Star Citizen Live to make missions, which is extremely awesome and powerful. But this game doesn't make or break if, Aaron Roberts leaves, Brian Chambers leaves, Richard Tyrer leaves. There's so many good games out there. There's so many talented and passionate game developers. It's going to be okay. Okay? Now, because that's what I see all the time. And then the only reason I'm mentioning this, because it appears he's not even left yet, or at all. The idea is that every single time somebody leaves that matters, the whole community freaks out, and the game keeps moving on. Over the years, so many people have left, and the game keeps moving on. It's okay. It's okay. Let's just keep an eye on that economy team, monthly reports. Let's go. Well, that's true. If Torsten leaves, we're doomed. But yeah, outside that, just because we love Torsten.